You'll also notice there's a big marking there called a forge. They're planning on building something big. They're gonna need iron for that. Ergo, if you haven't already, reinforce your iron mines. If you have the manpower, I would recommend it.
I did not know that they had spread this much.
It's terrible. They're gathering as many resources as they can.
It's beyond terrible. He's going to point at the back, where you have mapped out the large main tent. In the back of that, there is a mine. A mine. One of the entrances to this place is there.
That'd be right.
Within the orc's grasp. The last that we had seen it, it was collapsed in, but it is there.
I was there a week or two ago and it was still collapsed then.
Good. Then perhaps the brutes know nothing of what they are. Grey orcs are not the same as greenskins.
No.
They think like men. They kill like drow. And they move like elves. They are intelligent. They command the greenskins with ease. They're not even close. I am not fully convinced that them finding this is a non-threat. I don't know what exactly I can do. If I was to find out that something was to be done about them, I do have... I have siege weapons that I do not want the brothers to know about. But if it can be used to ensure the collapse of this rubble, or perhaps to assist with an assault, it is something I can provide.
We are planning to work with the Rangers as well as a few other merc groups. You notice the Sordillo company is to the north. We're going to cut them off as best as we can.
With those Rangers.
Mm.
They have dealings with Kovas, which they should not. The Rangers are supposed to protect the border of Eshmith the Lost. They should not even be here. They have dealings with the Baron Kovas. So work with them if you feel you can outsmart them, by all means. Do not let your guard down.
Safe to say,
especially Drow.
Don't tell them about this opening if they are working with the elves.
Especially that.
Another thing, since we're being candid, I heard you were
I'm listening.
Close to the baroness from Vezran, and you've talked about caring for her fondly.
I told Vezran, I will not hide from you, that if he, I hate to use the word, if he kidnapped the baroness, brought her here, she would have the top floor to herself. The doctor I am having trained up will look after her. The captain of the royal guard that served Juldar and her will be her personal bodyguard. And you have my word on my honor that she will not be used to sue for peace. She is outside of this conflict and debate.
Vezran probably mentioned he managed to get someone into the castle itself.
You called her by her first name. That means you were close.
She was a very good friend of mine. I loved the Redots. Juldar was like a brother, his wife like a sister. I chose them over breaking away and having a family of my own. I fell in love with this province, with this people, with the sight of the orange sun on the sea every morning. After traversing some of the darkest places in the world, this seemed like the appropriate place to spend the rest of my years and leave it better than I found it. So yes.
I have one last question for him.
Let's go in.
Hypothetically, if you do get placed on the throne, what stops the council from ripping you away from it, seeing as you are not a Radad?
That is the one flaw in all of my plan. Nothing. My hope is that they will see what this place was before me and say this place after me. But again, mark my words. If the council sends a marshal with an army, I will surrender myself. I will not throw the province back into war.
I'm done.
I believe Vezran mentioned he managed to get a man inside the castle itself.
He did.
That would be me.
I'm in danger then, I see.
Not at all. I came in contact with the baroness.
I was told. This whole time I had believed that Mefu was grieving. But then I was told that she was not herself.
She didn't even seem to recognize me as a threat. I was very clearly not up to any good. She offered me chocolate and food, and she talked to me. Wanted to tell me bedtime stories before I went to bed with her. She clearly wasn't all there. It was heartbreaking.
She was a good woman. Juldar knew that he was only as good as the strong woman behind him. Whenever he was gone and he needed me, Mefu took command of the province, and there was never anything that went wrong. When Juldar was too busy and I was away dealing with either the council or trade, Mefu would represent the house when other barons came. And they would ask for Juldar, and Juldar said, "No, you will speak with my wife. She is the baroness. She has just as much authority." She never faltered once.
She seems like a sharp woman.
See her like this.
I mean, I've known things like this to happen with age, but this quickly, You don't think something nefarious has happened?
No.
I would guarantee it.
I would refuse to believe.
What's
No
stopping
matter
them?
how. That is their mother. Their
Yes,
mother
and
was
Belena
so
was an
good to
entire
them.
city.
It is different when you are a foolish boy and you can point and not have to see what you have done. They live around that woman. I refuse, in my heart, I refuse to believe that these men would do this to their own mother. No. The sons are at fault for many things, and they will be held accountable, but I refuse to believe they would sink so low as to do this to their own blood.
You know them better than I.
Will you still hold the same compassion for them if you find out that to be the truth?
No. But I refuse to believe it.
I hope it's not
If there
true.
was proof of it, then I will do what would have to be done. But I have no wish to destroy a family that is already ashes. But their fight is tearing the province apart, and it must end.
We'll turn it in a different direction then. Do you know anyone that isn't an obvious answer that would have a problem with the Baroness?
Maybe a Capitano?
I told Jaldar to get rid of him long ago. He argued
still
that the
fucking
man, when he
everything
had
up.
a leash on him... I know he is. He argued that when the man had the leash on him, he did his job, he did it well, and it was true. The Capitano, in a military situation, he is a very cunning, smart man, but he has no heart. The first run-ins I had with him, I had to get the Custode to take the prisoners away from him during one of our first clashes with the Vipex, because he was not questioning them, he was fucking torturing them. And of course, this went back to the Vipex, and to this day, it is one of the reasons that there is a stain on the Redots, because of this bastard's actions. But neither of the sons reel him in. They allow him to keep doing this. That is not what leaders do. They're
What if he has them around his finger? What if he's taken the two young men under his wing?
I would argue that if they were the sons of Baron Juldar and grew up with him and are young men in their 30s, could be subverted by this man, then they are more stupid than I thought, and they should not rule.
I'd like a request if I'm allowed to be so bold.
I will not agree to it before I hear it, but I will hear it.
By day I work in the blacksmith in Nautis, as the assistant smith. We have farmers unable to tend to their crops because we can't repair their weapons anymore. We are out of iron. We have no source of getting it in. If you would allow a small percentage into the city, to allow people to work.
You understand that if I do this, I am weakening my grip on the province.
I do.
I'm not lying to you. The whole reason of me holding the stone mines and the iron mines is to prevent them from being able to tend to themselves, so the people will turn and tell the Redods to do something, and they will not be able to, and the people will look for an alternate answer and avoid bloodshed.
The choice is yours, Sage.
If I do this,
I'm for the people too. It's gonna get hard before it gets easier.
chat,
And you know that.
roll a d20, 13 or above. With a 13 on the dot, you'll see the man's brow furrow for a moment. There's definitely an internal fight taking place. And then all eyes are closed, as if he's in thought. I will do this but once. Once. There will be a wagon with 50 units of iron, raw, that will be left on the shoreline near this Imperial Embassy hidden in the brush. You may pick it up from there.
Thank you. I can assure you it won't go to any Imperial or Guard repairs. We are not fans of them. Just for the people, to ensure they can defend themselves and work their lands.
The people won't have to defend themselves if this squabble can come to a close.
Let's hope it ends soon then.
It will. Because of the orcs and the Vipex, I will have to begin my attack in the next few days. And that is what I have to do. Lest I risk losing this province to these people. And we have another Balerno.
I understand. Is that all? Thank you for seeing us.
It gets lonely. Don't get me wrong, I love my soldiers, like you, Sergeant. But they don't talk, and they only ever say yes.
Maybe you should try a new transport to bring new friends. I think it's quite
Understand.
a lot.
I cannot have people knowing where I am. That's why people are blindfolded and chained. Forgive me.
Are we to be blindfolded and chained on the way out?
In the
Please no, I'll
courtyard,
close
yes.
my eyes. Can we skip the chains part this time? Please.
If it makes you feel better, I'll
I just
partake
had
in the
to-
chains. So she doesn't have to. She has a
I
history.
just had 2 people here who can see in the dark, who are obviously cunning, that wear the weapons, and the admission of being assassins. I think, at least for now, chains will do. At least around the arms, so you do not reach for weapons. Your legs will be left free, and your necks will be left free.
I don't even have my weapons. They took them.
I have them in
Then
custody.
you are a
Lord.
bad assassin.
I was
I
told to
jest.
play nice.
We're off the clock.
I jest. Pray tell what a clock is.
What's a clock?
We're off the sundial.
You need a maid. No offense.
Are you offering?
If you let me clean that room and you pay me, I would enjoy it.
It's actually all organized. It's going to different picket lines of men that are keeping watch. First, when it gets cold at night and foods.
Organized chaos
I
then.
see. Very, very chaotic.
I had the man keeping watch over your horse. They will be down there at the ravine.
Thank you.
It has been watered and fed.
That's very kind of you.
I am hoping that the stories that I have heard of drow kind and their ability to know a man's intent has at least shown you that I am being genuine.
I guess we'll see.
I hope. True. It will not last long. Forgive me, I must be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Put your dagger in your hand. I clutch my weapon so I feel safer. Open the gate!
It is less time.
Be careful. Mr. Sharik and Sarah. Should you visit again, we will skip the chains and blindfolds.
Appreciate it.
I
Pleasure
look
to meet
forward
you,
to
sir.
it.
Farewell. May you bring back this message to whoever will listen.
Corporal, go ahead. I can see where the fuck I am going, huh? Thank you.
Why does it sound
is
like
he
you're
doing
sliding?
How is he doing that?
He's practiced that for many years.
The ground is very
Oh,
sleek
well, now
here.
we've got him alone in the dark. There's only one of him and 2 of us.
How come the robber baron lets you have rollerblades and not us?
Oh, he hit me.
I am Sir Tony of House Hawk.
Shut the fuck up. I'm reporting you for that one. Right to your Baron. Mr. Baron, your fucking soldier is the ugliest name I've ever heard.
I do hope that you enjoyed
Fire
your
him.
meeting with his lordship. I'm sure that you were able to experience firsthand his charisma.
Oh, I'm not
I
dead.
can't see
Maybe now
fucking
you
anything out
understand.
Bitch, you have the light. What do you mean?
Here, give me the fucking lantern. Give it to me. Give me the fucking idiot.
Fucking idiots can't see at night.
We
Losers.
could guide you if you'd like. Let's go take these blindfolds
True. All you gotta do is take off the blindfolds.
We can see
off.
perfectly
Mhm.
fine. I know these woods like the back of my hand. All right.
He says as he
I
walks
probably
right into a
can
rock.
probably know them better than you, Drow.
Bullshit.
Do you know how many times I fought
I will
orcs in
always
these
one-up
woods?
you in the night. Yeah.
Like
In
yesterday.
these
You
woods,
know how many times
no,
I've
we don't-
consoled dying men
we don't
in
have
these
any
woods?
orcs in these woods.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're going to. You're welcome.
I'll have you know that we take care of them ourselves. Many good men have died protecting this area for his lordship.
You guys really think he is the best thing for Nautis, don't you?
Of course.
If we did not think that, we would not be here out in the middle of nowhere in his employ. I can tell you that.
Away from our own families.
Yes. We have suffered a great deal, and we will suffer a great deal more, if it is for the betterment of this province and its people. Many of us have come from the guard. We have seen the Capitano's cruelty firsthand. Something has
He's
to
not much
budge.
longer for this world, so take some solace in that.
Yes. I believe I can take solace in that.
Oh no, it'd be a real shame if we got lost in the woods together. Wouldn't it?
Guardsman, kill me.
There's no getting lost in these woods. I know exactly
Just
where I'm
me
going.
and you and these two guards with no weapon. Oh wait, never mind. I can hear their swords.
I still have your crossbow, little miss. I'll have you know.
You think I need that crossbow to throw things? It's just a more efficient way of doing it. 'Tis not the crossbow, dear guardsman.
This is the
'Tis
weirdest
my aim.
Oh, I'm not
dick
a
measuring
guardsman.
contest.
Not anymore.
How is this? I don't even have a dick.
Then he
How
wins
could I
by
measure
default.
with his? Yeah, you definitely don't.
I think we both know that's not true,
So, bro,
Sarah.
go ahead. Check and make sure that the pathway is safe. Here.
Yeah, you're right. Can't even joke about that.
We're back on the road now. There's only a short walk left.
Cobbles.
Oh yes, the drows that thought that they were lost with the bumbling guardsmen. No, we've been training in these woods for weeks.
Listen, Tony of House Hawk. We would have gotten here a lot quicker if you'd taken off our blindfolds.
And just let us go.
We would just skate on
I
through.
went on a straight shot.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
Turn around, you fucking silly drow.
Kiss him.
Mwah.
That's what you get. Yeah.
Call me a silly
You have to
drow.
buy me a drink first.
Silly drow.
Maybe you shouldn't act like a silly drow, huh?
I like you guys a lot better than the guards of Nautis.
Intrusive thought. I have my knife in my hands.
We came so far.
Your
came so
weapons.
far.
Can you imagine I just fucking...
And your crossbow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Be safe. Watch out for orcs.
No, I don't think I will.
What did you do to him?
I think I'll be danger. Oh shit.
Okay. He slides a bit.
Yeah, he's antsy. He doesn't know who the fuck you guys are.
What did you do to him? Why is he levitating?
What are you doing under that horse?
Oh no, I can't. I'm inside of you. Deal with it.
Not how I
My
wanted this
legs
to
are
go down.
broken. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to be. Ow. I have to be here. Get fucked. You back up.
Fine.
Yeah.
Well,
My legs are dead. I'm gonna hug the horse like this.
it was a pleasure.
Good luck. It's going to be
Good
a
luck.
rough ride.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Good luck
This
and
looks
thank
really
you for
bad.
visiting
This
me,
looks
Lord
really
Baron's
bad.
Keep.
This looks bad. That looks
I wasn't going to
rated,
say anything,
rated
but yeah.
R.
Are you gonna
I'm gonna run next to you.
just
How
get
about
on the
that?
fucking horse?
No. No, it looks so bad.
It
Kyler,
does
it
look
looks
really
so
bad.
fucking bad. Kyler,
What
it
do you
was
mean you
like
can't move?
Pretty fucking bad. I'm not
Rule
gonna lie.
34. I can't, like, my legs are dead. I can't, like, move myself back because of that. So, you go. I'm going to be on the horse with you, and then I'm just gonna fucking.
Women.
Great, wonderful.
You could
What
turn
the
yourself invisible. Or just pretend that you're on the back.
True.
Goodbye, have
Oh
a
my
good
god, that's
night.
right. You're so smart. Bye, Stinkies. Okay, I'm on.
Alright.
They just watched me go invisible.
So,
What the fuck? Where did she go? So, that was actually fucking wild.
that's not good.
Why do I feel hopeful now?
It's not good.
Why is it not good?
Because our original
What's not good
plan
about
of
that?
dealing with him might not be the case anymore. He might be a genuine
Yeah, that can
person.
easily be altered. We could use him then. Establish him as the head. It's just convincing your father that's going to be the hard part. Maybe we need to get. Never mind. That's gonna be
You-
weird.
Understand, even if we are as convincing as possible, if Tazim still wants to deal with this guy the way that he wants to, we're gonna have to.
But he trusts your judgment, so if you tell him to his face what you think, maybe it will change his mind. But that is dependent on what you think.
I'm going to be honest with him, and I feel like I've burnt all my good boy judgment points this morning.
I see.
He's allowed me to deal with the dread knives how I want to deal with the dread knives. He doesn't know who this person
That's
you're
not
talking
bad.
to is either.
You could have told him. I wouldn't have minded.
If I told him, he definitely would have said no.
You think so?
Yes.
Best to keep it secret then.
He knows
now
there's someone
we
involved
spend the
who
night
is
trying to
incredibly
figure out-
dangerous, and we shouldn't trust him. That's pretty much the truth.
That is correct, on both ends. I may work with him, but I don't trust him an inch.
We're on the same page.
He will be very useful when the time comes. Especially when we need to secure the province. That I know.
The only question is his other motives. It can't just be just as simple as
He
dealing with the
has
dread knives
no motives.
that we know of.
He is bored. That's his motive.
He's bored. Fuck it, let's just throw him at the Inquisitors then.
Yes. He's fought them, probably. He was in the First Drow War.
Good.
He's over 3,000 years old. The best thing about him is that he doesn't have any motives that I can see yet. Not any that conflict with ours. Not with the province. Not with you and your father. The only point of contention is Vesserin, and he has promised me he's not going to hurt Vesserin. just confront him. Now, if Vestron's a fucking cock and decides to, I don't know, attack him for some reason, that's different, but I'm not going to ever say that we can trust him,
Good. I agree.
but we can definitely rely on him.
We can rely on him to do certain things. I agree.
DM note, DM note, DM note.
Are you talking the dead drop?
I'll be back as Arn shortly. I'm just DMing something for Faye.
You got it.
Okie dokie artichoke.
Okay.
Can't believe Dad left the city.
I'll try to stay up for a little longer, but everything is dying.
I know the
I
feeling.
didn't get to charge my shit much because I'm an idiot. Feel fucking bad for Elena. I'm gonna get off.
I told her I lost my potion.
Did you?
I gave it to her.
Is that why she's fucking pissed?
She doesn't know that I gave it to her.
So it was just guilt that I saw in her eyes.
She's here for one reason, and she nearly failed that today.
It's understandable, I just want to understand.
Come inside,
I
we can
don't.
talk about it.
I don't want to pry at things that
Wait a
could
minute.
make her not like me.
You did so well, buddy. Alright, let's go.
Thank you, Maelstrom. Love you, Maelstrom.
I'm not so fortunate. Ah.
You were going to see Sarah walk in and just face plant on the couch.
Welcome back.
Well, you're not dead,
Went
so
well?
that helps.
We killed the robber baron and all of his men. Every single one of them.
Good job.
There was blood and guts
Congratulations, that wasn't the plan.
Oh no! Yeah, we're fine. No, it went well.
everywhere. We
Okay,
weren't
cool.
supposed to. Oh fuck.
You weren't supposed to completely blow up everything.
I thought that
whatever
was
you found.
really cool,
No.
Sarah, where you threw the fire pot and then shot it with your crossbow and then blew everyone up. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
I really
That
transformed
sounds
into
sick.
a wolf and ripped his throat out. I like that.
We
Sounds
didn't
awesome.
interrupt
Fuck.
anything, did we?
No, we
Oh,
were
no.
just talking about how people and my issue with spots and stuffs.
I barely see them anymore, I'll be honest.
I don't see that. I don't see your spots. All I see is a drow.
That's it.
I mean.
For most people, it's simply.
Oh nope, you're not going up there without me helping you, bitch. You thought you could. You. You thought you could. Gotta be quiet.
See,
Oh.
where
Maybe
there
she
are
isn't
those
sleeping.
that will shun, there are those that will accept.
Yeah.
It's the ones that accept that you cling on to.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm just not
I don't
used
think
to
I'm gonna
how
be able to
people
make
are
it.
supposed
I'm
to
fucking
be,
dying.
you know? Because I'm used to my crew, and my crew's not like anybody else, and then I'm
Yep.
here, and then all the people that are here
you
that
can
are
go to
not
sleep
like
if you want,
anyone
I can
else, and
handle
then so I
this.
think there's
If you're
people
that
that are
tired.
here to have
I
people
appreciate
like
it.
them,
Of course.
and then they're not
Yeah,
like them
it's-
at all. It's just like,
had a
what
long
the
day.
fuck?
I bet.
I
Bought
just
a
don't
new
know what
wagon.
to expect from people.
What a new wagon.
On my own.
Oh,
Wow.
My own wagon.
hello.
Big girl wagon.
Hello.
Oh,
Don't mean to barge in on anything. Was just checking to make sure everyone was back.
Let's get this shit off.
Yep, they
I'm
are.
gonna untie the tightening parts.
Good.
What
Good.
happened?
That one's
No
loose. That
Sure
one's
we'll
loose
learn
now.
At some point later.
These buckles on the back. Yeah, you should be able to slide it off now.
Well, I don't want to interrupt a conversation, so I'll head out to the logging
You're
camp
not
and turn in
interrupt-
for the night.
Good
night,
really
Sif.
anything else.
We were just discussing.
Good night.
In fact,
Do you mind if I crash
Hmm.
in
Good
here?
question for you.
I don't want to walk all the way back.
Oh, you know, sleep
I'll
next
see
to
you in
Elena,
Mars.
or
Okay. You don't have to
By
fucking
what?
tell me twice.
don't?
No,
You two are
I'm
weird
sleeping in the
already.
house with you.
Yeah, taking.
Stop!
Yeah.
We're not fucking weird. We're
No,
friends,
don't say
I
anything
think.
yet.
Yeah, and that's weird.
Just your basic.
I'll take
gear.
this side, and then I'll put
Base of
This
you,
pillow-
Aunt Torty.
so you don't feel weird.
say
and that could
exactly
be
what
your
I told
side,
her.
and I'll take the tiny
She
side.
seems very motivated and
Good night,
has
Sarah.
a very strong
You
drive.
did really well tonight.
Good night.
Provided she has a goal in front
That was a
of
good
her.
call asking
No,
those
you-
questions, really.
Whenever that
I wasn't
goal
going
seems
to.
to get a little bit too far away or out of
Really?
sight, she becomes very
I was going to pry it
restless,
out of him, but I
as
was
if
a
the
little
ship
worried of
no-
what he
no
would do
longer
if we
has
called it
wind
outright.
and is simply adrift.
It was a gamble, but it paid off. Good job.
Not once did she mention a single thing about your
I'll
complexion.
see you in the morning.
Good night.
See?
Yeah.
Why should I care about your complexion?
Sweet, soft bed.
Exactly.
Glad that others seem to care.
They don't view past the surface into what's in your heart, your soul, and your mind.
Back in a second.
Alright.
I'll be here.
I don't want the answer to that question, Gabon, because I don't think I'm going to like the answer to that question. Look, high elven org.
Sharik, mon ami!
We do not need to
Oh,
talk
no.
about the high
Come
elven
on this
organization.
way.
Hopefully there isn't one.
Come
Gavin,
here, you're just in time.
I just need to stop by.
Yes.
Is the kitchen still open?
Certainly.
I haven't eaten in 2 days.
Yeah, come on.
Thanks.
Perhaps
Hazel cooks for you, and you never.
to the night,
Well, last night's not your fault, so okay, yeah. Alright.
It's good to see you. How goes the business?
Have you?
I'm glad you're okay.
Me too.
I heard what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit.
It's becoming a daily occurrence.
Gotta stop that.
One day. Are you
Let's
drinking
make that
again?
baby soon.
The man begs for food and then just walks away.
Celebrating
Still here.
a little bit.
He's
Oh,
right
shit, I
there.
didn't see him. He's blended. God damn, he actually.
I finished my sword training a little
He is
bit.
very sneaky.
We'll have to tussle.
I'm just as good in sword training now as in hand.
Ah, well, in that case, I'll be
Good
outmatched.
evening.
Thanks, Gobum. How much do
Well,
I
at the
owe you?
rate you're going, I'm gonna have to go out with you to protect you.
Let's call it thank you for services rendered, huh? Don't let me interrupt you.
Is that soup? Come on.
It's the good soup, I promise. It's a warrior soup. It's very hearty. You're going to love it.
It smells good.
It's very spicy for some people. I liked it, but
Made a new batch without the spice. Just still some spice in there.
oh, okay.
Without
No
the spice?
It's
Some, tiny bit, little tiny bit.
Spice me, Gobum Daddy.
Apparently he wants it.
Okay, you want spice? I'll give you fucking spice.
I like spice.
When I drank it, Dredge looked at me. I could have sworn I saw fear in his eyes.
Oh yeah, I'll give you fucking spice. I'll give you spice down your esophagus. Give me that.
Don't
Just
threaten
starts
me with a
pouring.
good time. Okay, that's a lot of spice. Hold up,
You say one stop.
Stop!
Nope,
Jesus
I
Christ.
stopped you.
God almighty. Hold on.
Enjoy, my friend.
He just survived. I don't want him to die.
Do you mind holding this real quick? I need to quickly catch someone.
What the?
What the fuck just...
Uh.
What just happened?
Somebody stepped into your shop and then they stole something and they ran. I tried to grab them as you were.
Oh.
I don't know.
What happened?
I don't want to know.
Still got something of yours. You're not gonna leave the city without it, are you? I think it's good luck. It went off without a hitch. I'm sorry you couldn't come.
So what's happened? I was trying to figure out what I was going to play next.
Apparently someone stole from Gerbad. I don't know which way they went.
Catch up tomorrow, okay?
You want to come with me? Let's see if anyone looks suspicious.
Be careful.
I'll meet you back at the tavern.
Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Just quickly had to catch Wolf.
Just so you know, the soup is really spicy to some people.
Oh,
And I think you may have put a little extra in yours.
I like it spicy.
Right? And enjoy.
I'll catch up with you tomorrow, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I have something for you. If you want it tonight, or can wait.
I have to go have a meeting with Tizzy. Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night then.
I look forward to it.
And as a note,
Holy
when you eat
fuck.
that soup, ghost pepper.
Holy fuck.
I'm fine. My pride.
You lost him, didn't you?
No, I'm a really I just saw you walk past the light. Where the fuck did you go, Sharik?
I'm everywhere.
Oh fuck, there you are.
And nowhere. At the same time.
Alright, buddy.
No, my soup.
I'm about to head off to bed, but I did want to let you know. Give me this fucking book, you bastard.
Thanks.
I wasn't able to tell you guys because Tazim asked me to do it while you guys were busy having your moment. But, I spoke with sources who I will not name in their interest, and I concluded that what happened up was the same thing that happened a couple weeks ago in regards to Cassetto.
Meaning...
The cart that came in that was bloody and had the people screaming for help in it.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw that, but
mean
one of them died. Oh yeah, Carano, my bad. They're close enough.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what it was. That's why there were so many...
Interesting. Thanks for letting me know. What do you think of Torty, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
Man, what a crybaby little bitch. Oh shit, hi Torty.
Point proven.
No, I heard her instrument squeaking as she walked up behind me.
Yeah, come on. It's not that loud. I mean, it's just
You see Kyla's face is just...
It's not exactly quiet.
Grimace. Thanks,
I mean,
Listen,
who else has one of those things that walks around in the dark? It's pretty easy to tell.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm so bad at sneaking.
I gotta talk to
get
Zim.
better.
I'll leave you guys to it, okay?
Oh, okay.
Can you relay
See
the message?
Yep. Is he in there?
Thank you. I'm going.
Oh, no, I don't see
If
him
he
in
is,
there.
he's up in his study.
Is that spicy? I swear to God, if it's a spicy shit. No, I already enjoyed the spicy shit. I'm good. Thank you. You know
He's
what?
just
That was pretty
holding
good.
a ghost pepper.
God. We're fine.
No, Torty, I'm so... No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Just wiping chili oil in your eyes. I'm so sorry. Stop crying. Oh, I'm so bad at this.
I'm okay.
Oh, shit.
Now you won't be wandering around in the dark anymore either.
Yeah. Alright, I gotta go.
Wipe chili oil in your eyes.
Oh God, no. All right.
Alright,
yeah.
I'm headed out of town.
Be safe.
Night.
You're always welcome to accompany if you want.
One of my hands has died. I'm sorry.
Poor Dawei.
I'm now only half of a Dawei.
I heard that Dawei have stone stomachs. Stomachs of stone.
Some might argue yes. Others I'd say it's more their liver is stone. Otherwise, how could they possibly explain the amount they drink?
He goes into his bowl of soup and holds up a ghost pepper. Yeah.
Let's see it.
Oh.
I will see it. Probably not as bad as half the things
There
that...
he
Oh
is.
God, hello.
Why?
Blame
What?
Gerbum. I asked him for soup and he gave me this spicy soup.
It's because Lafayette was cooking recently. They've been fucking up all the stews.
I need to go out and come back in. 1 moment.
can make my way over there with only one hand.
You're back in one piece, so that's good.
Yeah, it actually went quite well. Oh wow, this is gonna keep happening, isn't it? Fuck. It went well. You know what, give me 1 second again.
You're alright.
That's the first main point.
Yeah, I know.
I think I'm good. Okay. It went well, and I think that's the issue. He genuinely seems to want what's best for Nautis province.
If he wanted what was best for Nautis province, he would have stayed and guided his 2 charges, not abandoned them.
Apparently, after the slaughter that, I can't remember which one it was, Mem or Kovaz did at Corsetto, they were going to do it again. Sorry, at Balerno. They were going to do it again at Corsetto, to which he urged them not to. And they were going to anyway, and that's one of the main reasons why he left, taking the men with him.
If the men were so willing to abandon the dynasty, then they would have obeyed him if he told them to stop.
That's true. But over a Mem or Kovaz, he was a treasurer, basically. He gets outranked. Castellan.
Someone who takes care of things when the reigning noble is away. Like Crenshaw is to me.
Right.
You don't abandon your house or dynasty at the first sign of trouble.
I don't think it was the first sign. He cares about the people. He has siege equipment.
If he cared about the people, Sharik, he would not be starving them of resources.
On that, I requested that he allow a percentage of his iron to show up so that the people may work in the fields and feed themselves, and he agreed. So we're going to have an income of iron. At least a little bit, for once.
No, we're going to have a shipment of iron.
A shipment.
That's the equivalent of Kovaz walking out and throwing coin at the poor folk.
He has the ability to take the keep. He has the men and he has siege equipment to take the keep. Apparently the only thing stopping him is the fact that there's people in his way. He's not even going to risk using siege equipment because he's afraid of the rubble landing on people.
You're concerning me with the way that you're arguing on his behalf.
I'm putting it out there, the arguments that he gave me when I asked the same questions.
The man betrayed his house.
Yeah, I know.
He abandoned his lords, and in doing so sullied the name of this Juldar that he holds in such high regard. He has turned on his sons.
He believes that
He's picking and choosing his duties.
He believed that his sons already sullied the name when they did the massacre in Balerno. Not to mention...
From her meeting, Ladia's, with a mem today, she is thoroughly convinced that he is ashamed of it.
He agrees it was done in rage. Which I think is definitely true. We can all agree on that.
You don't give young men power without experience or training. Because that is what happens. Rash action.
You and him agree. In his words, no young man should have the power to point and have someone killed.
Well, then I guess he should have stayed there so he was the one doing the pointing and the young men didn't have to.
You asked for my honest read on the guy.
And it concerns me.
Besseren's account mixes with yours as well, so far. Perhaps my time is going to be kept up at that keep for quite some time now. I'm going to get plenty of time to get to know both of these brothers, whether I want to or not. Shall I attempt to confirm his worries and see whether or not he's valid?
Is what valid?
Something's going on in that keep. The infighting between these brothers, something is amiss.
It's not hard to discern what's happening. You have a second son, who will always be a second son. That means they get nothing, inherit nothing. By all accounts, a second son falls into obscurity. Kovaz is spending his time trying to throw his money, or some money, around the entirety of the town. Not for its betterment, not to make anything better, but to get people to like him at the bottom of a tankard. He's fooling the drunks and the imbeciles. The common folk are being tricked. You have a man who has a mar on his history. But every single time we've seen him deal with something, he's dealt with it by the law. We've seen it.
I've spoken with both. I've spoken with both and had them at the table. The Baron Amem seemed like the lawful type, the one to do things by the book. So much so that when Vesserin mentioned, or Markle mentioned, attaining these ledgers for a trader that was trading in illegitimate goods or some such, he vehemently was against taking it without going through lawful means.
Wasn't Amem the one that sent the people to try to kill Vez? Or was that Kovas?
That I don't know.
Claudia said. He swears up and down, no. And he doesn't know who sent them. He suspects the Capitano.
Oh, okay.
Kovas seems genuine. He seems like he wants to
I thought
help
this conversation
people,
was going to be about the robber
but
baron.
in the same breath,
Once
when
again,
I walked with him and spoke with him, there's a cunning there. He deliberately checked the markets while we were out and about, seemingly at random, but I think he was literally determining what was coming in and out of this province. Making his rounds, making it seem normal. He's normalized the fact that he can simply walk into the town and check the income and outcome.
Markle, who was a scoundrel on his own, went and spoke with Kovas. And he says he seems genuine. However, there is something there that makes him uneasy. Something that is a red flag in the back of his head and he can't figure out what it is.
It's the same feeling I had. I was walking with him and he seems to genuinely have this concern for his people, but there is something that gives me pause. I don't know if it's because I feel that he's being puppeted by these elves, whether or not it's his actual own thought process. The fact that it still irks me when I went to go visit and I was blocked from entering the keep. The guardsman froze in fear of him.
Let's
He's
just
done
throw this on
something
the
to earn
table,
that.
because we're talking in circles. I don't care about any of this. Kovaz is the second son. And he's obviously not fit to rule. He's made this clear through his actions. I don't know what he's playing at, but I know he can't be trusted from now that I have someone who works with the underbelly telling me this. We've had 3 separate people meet with a mem, all who say that he is a by-the-books man, and we've seen the way he operates. Yes, what he did is terrible, and he will have to live with that for the rest of his life. And it cannot be undone. But he is part of the ruling family. He is the eldest, the next in line. And he seems to understand from his conversation with Gradia how horrific what he did was. The whole thing that this plan rests on is using Gerbrum to be our eyes and ears. He is an informant for a mem. A mem must be on the throne. Must. Otherwise, everything we've done is for fucking nothing. A mem trusts Gerbrum. He is going to be the only reason that the reigning noble believes us. And that's the long and end of it. My intention is to use the leverage I have with Nautis and to use this information and garnering of the province, put it in front of a mem, and demand a minor title. Once I do that, I will be sitting right across from you, attending his councils. And Gerbrum I intend to install as the next Castellan. That is the plan in totality. That is what must happen. Because any leverage that we would have would be gone. This would no longer be our province. It would be the robber baron's province. The man speaks of purging the town when he gets it, according to Vezran. No matter how pretty he wants to put it. How long until some of us, who got him there, are considered loose ends? A man of honor does not abandon his post, or the family he so rules with, or loves.
Of that I agree.
Of course,
in terms of
we know
honor,
what we're talking about.
In terms of honor, this robber baron has marred his own by leaving his sons, leaving the baroness, and leaving his duties. I can only speculate, however, that
Even
there may
if
be
we
something
played
under there.
pretend, even if we forgot how the real world works, and we say that the robber baron comes in as the greatest man alive and takes the province and is on the throne, the rest of the country will not stand for it. Because that sets the precedent that any upstart can overthrow the ruling family and put whoever they want on the throne and call themselves baron. There is not a single family here that will allow that to stand. They will all petition the council to get this fixed. And if he does not stand down, then we're stuck in the middle of a fight. And even if he does, whoever replaces him will not answer to us. And now we're back to where we fucking started 2 months ago. I'm not willing to do that.
I don't know this man's character. I haven't seen him. I don't know this man at all. But if he's willing to forgo his loyal...
He's already shown what kind of man that he is.
He has a reason for that, apparently.
If he's willing to forgo his...
There is no reason.
If he's willing to forgo his loyalties, then what's to say he won't do the same?
Of
Even
course,
if we were to
that's
help
the
him.
behavior. There is no good reason to murder innocent people. You say that the reason why he doesn't attack the town is because there's innocent people in the way. Those people that are moving goods are innocent. The people that came with Vezran and Markle when they first went were corners from here.
Working for nobles outside the
butchered them.
province, apparently, taking gold and money out of Nautis province itself, weakening it.
What the absolute fuck does that matter?
Just giving you his answers.
What it is doing is it's terrifying people and stopping people from trading here. It's starving us of resources.
Here's a thought. If this man is as good as you say, if we place a mem in the throne, rightfully by these means, he should, if he cares about the people, surrender himself. If he is true to
Isn't
his
that
word, he
the
should
problem,
surrender himself to
Robert
justice,
Baron's part
to
of
meet
the plan?
justice.
And then we're back to square one.
No.
We're back
I
to
mean,
the beginning.
If a mem is already on the throne by yourself, if we put him on the throne, if he has proven that he is a good leader for the people of Nautis, this robber
Vezran
baron
has already
should
said
surrender.
that he would die instead of surrendering. Here's some grand belief of a martyrdom. This is the word for word what Vezran told me. This man's disillusioned.
I'm still of the opinion that the plan you have is the one that is best for this place. A mem seems to be the best choice because I cannot describe why, but I do not trust Kovaz. I just can't. For some reason, I cannot. And I don't believe it's him. I believe it might be the elves behind him. It might just be my prejudice.
I fully agree with you. I believe that the elves are pulling his strings. I understand that Vezran said that the Old Castellan left after the Balerno incident. That doesn't make it any better at all. He has abandoned his post. If he believed that they were going to be that bad, he didn't intervene. He didn't stop anything. He took half of the men and left. That still leaves the people here vulnerable now with no opposing voice to the brothers. He saw an opportunity as a scoundrel and he took it. He is preaching morality while practicing brutality. He is starving a region of iron and stone, the ability to rebuild itself, to protect itself from the orcs encroaching on it. We cannot repair our walls because we have no stone. We cannot repair our arms and tools because we have no iron. Merchants that would otherwise bring trade here are butchered on the roads and he steals the goods. The fact that Vezran even considers him blows me away. Gods above. If the
From
man
what
never
it
even
sounds like,
mentioned
he's just
magic,
good at talking.
charisma can begin and end an empire.
It doesn't take much for a charismatic man to gain following. And then it's like a wildfire. It starts as embers, but it builds. I do not know enough about this Robert Baron, and I do not agree that he would be the best choice. If he surrenders himself after Remem has taken the thing, then so be it. Let their people return to their families. Let the guards return to the people they're supposed to protect.
I've told you the only way this will work is the robber baron is arrested and brought here, where in front of the people he has publicly executed for his crimes of treason against the dynasty. And with it is a public announcement by a man that every soldier that was tricked by the robber baron and his guile and cunning will be welcomed back at their place at the table here in Nautis. If they return to their posts and resume their service, all will be forgiven. You do that, you'll have the men back, and then we can fight the orc threat. We'll have a few hundred men back. And then we'll be able to posture against the Vipects. And then we'll have the manpower to rebuild the walls. Everything changes with his removal.
I'm in agreement. I don't know enough
Really?
about this. I don't know enough about this man. And even if he was as good a character as has been portrayed, his actions say otherwise. And that's simply from my own experience. When Vesserin came, I had thought of the option. When I handed you that map, my thoughts were that if the robber baron fights these orcs, if they continue to fight the orcs in defense of their people and defense of the mine, that we could actually use that opportunity to take the mine. If the mine was under assault by orcs at the last
We
moment,
don't have the
if we came
manpower
in...
for a prolonged fight. We do not. We can't do this. And the robber
It's
baron
not
cannot
the-
just be killed in the field, because if he is, he'll be martyred. And someone there will take up the mantle. The men must... Listen, the first rule to combat is giving your enemy a way to escape. If they have a way to escape when morale breaks, they will run. You give them a way to leave. You win the day. Butchery is not important. You end the fight as quickly as you can. Those men will be boxed into a corner. The Baron would be martyred and they would have no way out and they would fight to the death. If the Baron is executed and they receive a way out, they will run like mad. And they will find themselves back here in service to the proper barons.
If it helps.
Sorry, it's slightly adjacent to current subject, but since we seem to be kind of looping, our progress for grabbing him and the whole getting someone on the throne and stuffs, how long do you think that's going to take?
Days, hopefully.
Okay, because maybe in a couple of weeks we might have pirate issues if we don't have someone handle that.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that, because we'll have a whole fleet of Imperials here in 8 days, and I'm sure they'll deal with pirates.
Right.
Robber Baron's attacking in the next couple of days.
Anything...
What?
That's his plan.
Oh, wonderful.
But if we capture him, it doesn't
attacking
matter. Notice, he has to.
We don't know when we can do that. Before that happens, the Capitano needs to be dealt with. We need at least 3-4 more days.
Curious. I think... Do you remember when we were out trying to save that merc? Do you remember how long you were when you were brought to where you were brought? Did they take you there? Were you able to find out where it was?
Roughly, it's definitely in the same area.
So that thing that we saw when we were out trying to save that mercenary, do you believe it was that?
I would put money on it.
We know where he might be.
Well, Vezran already knows where he is.
There was an
Vezran's been there. If we want to fucking take this guy out, we know where he is. Vezran knows what everything in there looks like.
What do you suggest?
I don't know.
Doesn't Sarah have like a mini army at her command?
If the Drow are willing to do her a favor, this is not something that we want to expend that on. This is something that we can do ourselves. You've grown silent, Sharik. What is it?
I came in to deliver my report, and I've been shot down every time I try to talk. It's a little frustrating, if I'm honest. You asked me to get a measure on the man.
Apologize.
I'm trying to tell you, but it doesn't seem to be...
Continue.
I feel like
will
the...
not speak until you're finished.
I feel like the plan's already been set, isn't it? As you've said, there's no other way we can do this. It doesn't matter if this guy's a good person or not.
This man is not a good person.
Then that seals the deal.
Finish making your report, my son.
He gave me his policies on what would happen if he came into power. If he is to be believed, he's going to turn back the elves. He's going to repair the walls. He's going to turn back the Imperials out of Nautis province proper, including their embassy. And I dare say that would extend to any ships that showed up. He's going to expunge any of the corrupt merchants that are in town that have been working with the Capitano and starving this city itself, as he said. These bits of stone and wood, up until the time that we showed up, were just paperweights. These merchants didn't want to sell them. On top of that, he also wants to get rid of the Sawtooth Company. He called them pirates. He believed that
they are pirates.
Underneath the leadership of Amem and Kovez, they have allowed this to happen. Not to mention dealing with the Capitano. He wants to repair relationships with the Vipex. He believes that if he dies, as long as it ensures that the province is given to someone else that can actually take care of it, he doesn't care. Whether that means the council asks for him to stand down, which he will, willingly. He believes that it's not in the right hands right now. The way that this has been presented to me, and if what he says is true, and he's not lying to us, he pretty much achieves all of our goals that we want to do. The question is, how do we get him there? But, like I said, seal's already sealed.
The nation would never accept this. You understand?
Does it need to?
If they can... let me put it this way. The Vipex are looking for any reason to invade. They sense the weakness of the Radad dynasty. Now let's say the robber baron attacks, there's a pitched battle, there's losses on both sides. He takes the city. Even if we don't take into account the loss of men, that makes us even more of a viable target to a much more powerful dynasty. He has just proven to every old ruling family in Gradia, in a nation ruled by coin where armies can be bought and sold, that if anyone has the means, they can seize a province and make themselves baron.
He believes, because of his previous history and how closely he worked with the previous baron before he was murdered, and how often he worked with him to work with these older houses and whatnot, he's not just some random upstart brigand, he believes, to them. He believes he has some sort of weight. And if I'm honest, this is kind of a moot...
The more I hear it.
It's kind of a moot point because I don't even know how we would support him even if we did want to.
That is the equivalent of Sir Richter coming back and telling me he does not believe I should rule my house.
The difference being is that you rule your house well. You don't besmirch your house.
Mistakes are made by everyone, Sharik.
Correct. Everyone.
You learn from these mistakes.
Maybe he could have handled it better rather than leaving. A mistake, sure. He seems to regret it.
The man is in his older years. His time for mistakes are past. He should have learned from them. He abandoned the sons of his lord, took their manpower and their money, and declared, "I should be lord."
If you saw your people suffering, what would you do?
I would have remained in my house. I would have reeled those boys in and knocked their bloody heads together, stripped them of their power, or used my influence to undermine them, make sure that they didn't destroy anything or hurt anyone. I would stay there so I could keep them close and keep an eye on what they were doing. Stop it if need be. Interfere if need be. Because I know most certainly if I abandoned them, then they would be free to do whatever they pleased, especially if the only other person there of authority was a piece of trash, like the Capitano.
I'm sure that would have been the easier way to do it, and I'm sure he would have thought of doing that first. There's probably a reason for it. He didn't dig into it.
You're justifying his actions.
That means there's a reason. But if your son's justifying it, there must be a reason.
I'll be honest.
He sent him to go.
I barely give a shit about Nautis. We have bigger plans elsewhere, right? So,
if that's the case, then this man is a problem.
weren't we using this as a springboard to move on to what we wanted to move on to?
We need to accumulate gold and ships and soldiers. We have to control the local government.
Then we do MM. It doesn't matter to me.
I don't believe that.
I went in with the idea that this man was going to be a brigand. Like I told you before I even left, I have bias. I don't think that's the case, I'll be honest. I think he genuinely believes that he wants to do what's best for Nautis. I don't see how we could possibly support him in a way that isn't as clean as the other ways that we have done now. Like you said, we need to get control over the government. And if that means picking someone who is not the robber baron, then fine.
I have a question.
It's not just because he's not the robber baron. It's because he follows the law. It's because they are just.
What we're doing to put these people in power is not just. I mean, the stuff that we've had to do.
And what exactly have we done that is not just?
Well, it's against the law to sneak into the castle last I checked, for one. But we're willing to do it, right? Because we have conviction. We believe
No,
we're
because
right.
we need evidence. It's because we need to prove that we're right.
A means to an end.
It is not because our ideals are important. It's not because we are right. It's because we must find out what the truth is and prove it. And the people who are responsible use their status to hide the answer out of the reach of anyone who may question them. We aren't doing this because we're standing on a moral soapbox, my boy. I'm not saying it's okay to do because your father does it. I'm saying it's our only choice. I can't exactly walk to the table and demand to speak to the barons and hold them accountable, because I don't have that authority anymore.
A question.
We're trying to hold.
Sure.
Go ahead.
What you just said struck me. Did he mention what he would do to the barons and the baroness if he were to take control?
Apparently he'd let
What
them
would he
go,
do?
fully knowing well that they would try to appeal to other nobles and other houses to try and fight back and regain power.
She'll bring war right back to our doorstep.
You make good points, I agree. The point that I'm saying
A
is...
question.
You don't seem...
Zim.
I like to think I know you well enough to read you here and there.
Okay.
You do not seem satisfied with this conversation.
The early frustrations are probably still wearing off, if I'm honest. But, no, the fact of the matter is, even if I fully believe that this is a good person and that he is the right choice to save Nautis or anything like that, if we don't have a way to achieve it, if we don't have a way that ensures that it is our...
Do you really think that?
I don't know.
Truly, do you really?
I don't know. I don't even know if I can fucking trust him. He seemed, based on what he says, but again, could all be lies. My point is that even if that is the case, unless we have a tangible way of turning it into our favor, it doesn't matter, right? We have a plan with a mem. We have a way of making this work for us. We do it. It's not complicated.
Everywhere we have gone, we've tried to leave it better than we found it. And it has taken us so far out of our way.
Exactly.
Every single time. Because it's the right thing to do. We're still trying to do the right thing. I have a hard time seeing this man as anything other than a traitor. It would be the equivalent of leaving you to rule. It would be the equivalent of if I was dead and Haskell dug into the treasury, took your men, and left. You're doomed to fail. Your advisor is gone, your father is gone, your mother is unable to function, and you have a brother that is at your throat. And not enough resources to maintain what you have, because the one man who was supposed to teach you and be your guardian abandoned you. I cannot see good in that.
I'd like to put forward something, just as a Dawi point of view on this. Ever since I've been here, this squabble amongst the brothers has always been odd to me. You don't, well, actually, no, that's a lie. You do find similar squabbles in the holds. But I can't wrap my head around... They're fighting over the land and they're destroying the land as it goes. Their guardian, as you've said, has just abandoned them to this fate. Because one of them, in a fit of anger, did something foolish. I'm curious. You said they'd let them go.
He did.
Yes. Stop me if this sounds weird, Tazim. if you're wanting to do what would be best for this place, and this is just thinking what's best for this place, finding a way to reconcile a mem with this baron, to reconcile what has happened there, gives a mem backing that he no longer has of the Imperials.
I'm gonna
He brought
stop
the
you.
Imperials in because he didn't have that backing.
The whole point of us dealing with the robber baron in the way that we want to deal with him, i.e. having him executed so that we return the men, we can't make that happen if we're trying to make them be buddy-buddy again.
This was me simply spitballing what would be best for the province.
I mean, yeah, fucking
The
if
other issue-
unicorns showed up and some things just...
The other issue is that now that he is alive, and if he came back alive, and those superior forces came back with him and integrated back into the local garrison, there will always be that threat present. And there will always be armed men here who have proven that they will go against a dynasty for this man.
Like I said, seems pretty straightforward now.
Yes, but I'm not going to just ignore your evaluation. It just makes
The
things
issues-
complicated.
That's why I was angry when I
The
left,
issue that I would have,
because it wasn't so cut and dry.
the issue that I have with this robber baron is that he is attempting to expunge the one thing that my people need. It's the elves. I would need to wait until after I got what I need from the elves before I could do anything to help this person. And I have given thought in the past after what Viscerin had said to me. I contemplated whether or not going to that man would be best because of what happened with the orcs.
Wait. Do they even know? Does the robber baron even know there's a dwarven delegation here?
He didn't mention it, but I didn't really ask.
Well, for someone who's so hellbent on expelling foreign nationals, I have heard you say Imperials and elves, but nothing about dwarves.
Didn't mention anything.
Well, either he doesn't know about there being a dwarven emissary here, or I guess he doesn't mean all foreign nationals, and just the ones he doesn't
It's
like.
the people, it's the races and people that are here, right? He understands that the elves are here for something. He started talking about the shit that Bezran talks about, and then that was a whole tangent. But he knows that they're here for something. He even knows that the Elven Rangers are operating in Nautis. He believes they should be protecting the border, not making their way into Nautis themselves. He believes they shouldn't be in here, and he feels the same way about the Imperials. They shouldn't be in here. It's not that he doesn't like them. He believes that Nautis should be for Nautis people. That's why he wants to turn them back. I mean, I'm sure if the Dwarven delegates were here, not wanting to stay or dig into
They are
things.
here. It's Morden now.
Would you like to
Have you
see
not
what his
heard?
reaction will be?
Oh God, fuck me. Tell him.
The emissary that I was waiting upon, emissary from my people, didn't make it here. He was killed on the road by the orcs. Instead, his company brought the cylinder to me. And I have been elected as the emissary and the diplomat for the dwarven people by order of the High King. I'm now the dwarven emissary.
Well, congratulations. That would give you a seat up
Oh my
there, and
goodness. Yes, and he and I would be able to tag team. But the thought is, what's going to happen to him now? if the robber baron gets his way? How does he feel about the dwarves?
He didn't mention them. But that's all if the robber baron gets in power, which isn't the plan. If we can get a mem in power and you two are on the council, I mean, fuck, you can choose what to do best about the province. It doesn't even matter if it's the robber baron or not. You can do what's right for the people, and I know you will.
The idea is for Morden to figure out what the elves are up to, and to keep a hold of them by the short hairs so they don't do anything stupid.
On that, I should let you aware of something. Torty, you might want to close your ears for this, because you don't want to be a part of it. It might implicate you.
She's here. She
All
might
right.
as well hear it.
Okay.
We can't keep throwing people out of the room. We're all here.
It's not to throw her out of the room, it's quite simple. He's going to pass you the elven arrow that Vesserin left. Vesserin has an idea of how to get his uncle here. He wants the Enlamin or the Xylarian people to be implicated in an attempted assassination of my person after my announcement of a dwarven delegate.
Is he fucking mad and stupid all at once?
He wants to try and bring his uncle here.
You imagine what would happen if they were accidentally successful. No.
It would be a war amongst both peoples.
Absolutely not. God, how is the man so smart and yet so fucking stupid?
On your whole point of trying to figure out why the elves are here.
It's literally one of the directives I have been given.
Well, the robber
I am to
baron
find out why they are here.
pulled out a book when we gave him a name of, fuck, I can't remember the name of the city. Something in Elven. Nithnamaloran. Pulled out a book and started... Pulled out a book and started reading about it. Apparently, it was an old town, city, that was pretty much on the Ejmithalasian border between here and Nautis. And there was some fucked magic shit happening there. They were doing experiments on all of these weird artifacts and things. I think he believes that the elves are there trying to figure that out. Because it's so close to the border, the robber baron doesn't want to do anything involving looking into it until he gets control over the province. Because he knows the implications of that. So that might point you in a direction.
Great magic.
Yeah.
The bane of my fucking peasant existence.
I had to educate my brother regarding it because of what the delegate can apparently do.
If you cared about your brother, you wouldn't tell him anything.
Unfortunately, it's because I care about him that I had to. I don't want him doing something stupid to the elven diplomat when his eyes or something start glowing.
To put a capstone on this, we went in there and I got a decent read of the castle, or the keep. Not as great as I would have liked, since we were blindfolded. So we have a way for the drow to get in, if that's what we want to do. My measure on the man is that it's not as cut and dry as I liked, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to me. I like your idea of getting a mem in there, especially if you two can be on the council. We can do right by the people, and we don't have to use a brigand to do it.
The problem is that I don't want to make a mistake.
I think the plan that we have now is solid enough.
If you don't want to make a mistake, when I go up into the keep, I'll keep an eye on things. If there's anything that seems off, I'll let you know. And you can make a decision from there, seeing as you've still got the Capitano to deal with. We're still jumping a problem.
Even if we entertain this, there is no way it could be done without the Baroness. They were close enough. If there was any mending of relations, the Baroness would have to be in the picture. She's not. She's a babbling fool.
He seems to really care for her.
Men can care and love and still make terrible choices. I do not doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
If the Baroness had been the one to maintain control after all of this, this wouldn't have even have been an issue.
If... Never mind. At the very least, we have more damning evidence of the Capitano's doings. And with the capture and securing of this ship and its shipment, we'll have the nail in the coffin.
We can deal with that.
Bring everything forward.
We can deal with that. Much simpler.
Yes. The Capitano will find his way onto the gallows. But apparently, according to Gradia, apparently there's some sort of communication or something that has been between the embassy and the castle, outside of the Major's notice and outside of the Baron's notice. On top of this, we found out from that Leon fellow that someone at the castle is getting a large cut of silver from that spice farm. Or at least someone was. The Capitano detailed in one of the documents we have stolen that he's angry about it and wants them pushed them out as soon as possible. But it's someone in that keep.
Well, chaos is often an opportunity to flush rats like that out, so when I announce myself, it's going to ruffle a few feathers. There may be movements, things that you can pick up that I cannot.
I'm just tired of playing the game. For once, I want to control it. Control its direction. Get things back on track for all of us.
Couldn't agree more.
Then, while you are concentrating on the Capitano, let me look into the things of the keep. I'm going to be busy up there anyway, I may as well. If I discover anything off, anything that you should be made aware of, be sure that I will make you aware. One way or another, there will be word sent to you.
Make sure that you have someone from your company or something at your side.
I will be going in there and will not... You and me both. I will be going with my brother and his company.
I
And
wouldn't
he will
even
not
bring
leave
your
my
brother.
side.
If something were to happen, both of you at once is not what we need.
Very well.
It's a cold way of thinking, but you know I'm right.
No, you're right. If my brother remains out here, I can at least send correspondence to him without it looking suspicious. I can encode it as well. Which means I get to pick someone from my company.
The hope is that if we've been keeping track of the way that this ship has been coming and going, hopefully the day after tomorrow is when we'll complete our work. Which means we have to get down there quickly at some point and get the chain ready lying in the harbor. We need
I don't know if I'll be able...
3 smoke bombs. To make them think that that
I have
powder
2.
is on fire. We need 3.
I got 1.
Get a 3rd. You have 2 days. Perfect.
He
We
has
have
a
3 in
tiny
total.
one.
You should get another one though.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Don't say that about my son. Say again.
No, I.
It's perfectly above average. Fuck you. You should get another one as well. I think yours would be suited better.
Coconut.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to assist you in that regards. I'll probably be trapped in that keep for some time.
It's likely.
Tizzy,
It's going to be butcher's work. Yes.
Marcus wants to do this without bloodshed.
There is no way it's going to happen without bloodshed.
He keeps on fucking insisting over and over. There's no fucking way.
I understand his want to do the right thing, and I have no hard-on for murder whatsoever. 40 people on that ship are going to be looking for our blood. It is not going to be done without bloodshed.
Works for me.
We might be
It
able to
did
scare
have-
some off. We might be able to give some a way to run. But they're going to be those that stand and fight.
An idea that I was having earlier, since the idea is to keep the ship docked and such, to scare them off. As soon as they realize it's not going to blow, they're going to try to get back onto the boat. But if Tang is in the water already and stuff, if he goes by the docks and breaks one of the supports to bring the dock down, the only way to get onto the ship would be via dinghy and such. That would give them a disadvantage of that and at least keep them off of the boat once they're off of it.
That's if everyone gets off the boat.
Yeah.
We're not
Which,
going to
if it's
fool all
smoking-
40 people.
Not all of them. There's going to be some fools that are loyal, and there's going to be some that, are just too panicky and such. But that'll at least split them.
You also, there's a X factor here. You mentioned there's a good chance some of them will be holding flint locks.
Yes. Especially if they're higher on commands. Almost every captain I've seen has a couple.
Those of us that sneak onto the boat to do this smoke bomb thing can try and identify them. Take them out beforehand, or as soon as it gets chaotic. That might limit their use.
It is possible they have an armory. If we can make that the source of this... Actually, that would make sense. Their powder would be there as well. They wouldn't be able to go for the flintlocks because they think the powder's going to blow.
Good.
Another idea I tossed at Marcus because he was so insistent on trying to find ways to do this peacefully. If they are smugglers and pirates and whatever, if they happen to have an extra shipment of ales and wines and such that's not on their dockets or whatever, it's oh no, they accidentally grabbed too much when they went to a place, they're going to self-indulge. If there happens to be some extra barrels nearby the night before and they just happen upon it and say, hey, this isn't part of the delivery, why not party?
They come in and leave
Some
on
of
the
them
same
might get
night.
drunk. Still, there might be some that are slacking in work. Might get drunk.
Do not think that people working for a middleman for the Dread Knives will allow themselves to be so sloppy.
If there's their chance.
I don't mean to say it this way, but I do not think that they are careless ragamuffins. I believe that they're there to do their job.
You think the Dread Knives will be there?
Was an idea.
The only other suggestion I would make is if you had... The only other suggestion I would make is if you had the alchemist make some sort of mixture with the smoke.
Look, this is the biggest problem. This is the biggest problem. There is no way for them to escape. Do you remember what I said when it comes to fighting a force?
Mm-hmm.
You want them to rout. You don't want them to fight to the last man. There's nowhere for them to go. They're pirates. Or if they're not pirates, at the very least, they're mercenaries hired by the Dreadnoughts. Whatever the fuck they are. Their only escape is the ship. And the ship cannot leave. It is one route up a road, inland. If I'm going to be honest with everyone here, I do not expect any of them to run, because if they go inland, they're done. They'll be hunted down by local forces, they'll be ridden down by soldiers. They're going to stand and fight. To think otherwise is a pipe dream.
I also had
want it to be true.
I had a revelation when we were there looking over this and trying to figure out how many people there would be. They said the crew would be 40 men, but the person in charge also said that they need to bring on fighting men, which means that within those 40 men, they aren't fighters.
Fuck me.
They'd just be normal crew.
Well, they'd be normal crew, but even a normal crew would at least know something about a cutlass, I would assume.
But we're not fighting 40 fucking well-trained men, at least.
No. But if they're bringing on men to keep them safe... Listen, everything that they rely upon has been getting hit and destroyed here. This is not going to be a joke. They're not going to let it go. If they leave without this, they're dead. They know this.
Also, if we get this boat, where are we going to put it?
Right in the docks.
We can do that? If we pirate a pirate, aren't we pirates still?
Not if we are turning it in to the Redards.
Huh. Alright.
Them want ships, remember?
That's better than your stupid idea.
What?
What was your stupid idea?
I didn't have an idea.
No, your the flag thing, the flag you were gonna hang over the back of it. What the fuck was it called? Tootie?
No, I say you could rename it the Toot, because I have a boat sign that says Toot because it's part of the Astute, but the part fell off, so it's just says Toot now. You know about the Astute, right?
It's better than her stupid
How have you
idea.
made it this far on your own?
It's sheer luck, honestly.
Well, you're lucky you're with us now. We won't pity you. We'll make you work for your stay.
Cool.
I need to turn in. I'm exhausted from blood loss.
Of course.
You
did well.
Not sure.
On both accounts today. And I appreciate that you speak your mind, regardless of who agrees and who doesn't.
Of course. It's something council, something smarter men, something. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good night, Lord.
Sleep well.
Fuck you, Severick.